Yo, check this out. EV charging is not what you think. It's not slow. It's not confusing. And for most people, it's actually easier than going to a gas station. But the problem is, almost nobody explains it the right way. So, in this episode, I am going to explain it on how EV charging really works in real life. I- If you're thinking about getting an electric car, or you just got one, and you're still trying to figure out, this is the most important things you should understand. Because everything about EV ownership comes down to charging. Not just how it works, but how it fits into your daily life. So, by the end of this episode, you are going to understand EV charging better than most new EV owners. Let's start with the biggest mistake people make. They think EV charging works like gas car. You drive the vehicle until it's empty, and then you go somewhere to fill up. But that's not how EV works. With an EV, you charge the vehicle when you're not using it. So let's that sink in for a second. You're not waiting for the vehicle to charge. Your vehicle is charging while you're doing something else. You might be at home, relaxing, sleeping, or you might be at work and you charge your vehicle. And once you understand that, everything changes. The first time I spent real time with an EV, this completely threw me off because I kept thinking, okay, when do I go to charge the vehicle? And then it hits me. Well, every time I go to work, I plug my vehicle in, and by the time I finish working, the vehicle is fully charged. So on my way home, there's no stopping for gas, no extra stop for anything. And after a few days like that, I stopped thinking about it altogether. It just clicked. All right, now let's break down these three types of EV charging because this is where most of the confusion comes from. Level 1 charging. This is the basic one. This is the simplest way to charge an EV. I'm talking about a regular wall outlet. The same outlet that you use to charge your phone or to plug your TV. So you just plug your car and it starts charging. Sounds easy, right? But here's the downside though. It's really slow because you are getting about 3 to 5 miles of range per hour. So if your battery is low, it could take you forever to fully charge that vehicle. Now, that can be work for some people if you don't drive much, okay? But for most people, this is not a real solution. Level 2 charging. Now, this is where EV ownership starts to make sense. Level 2 charging is what most people use. This is what you will install at your home or at a public charging station. It's much faster, and you're getting about 20 to 40 miles of range per hour. Now, let's make this real. Let's say you're driving somewhere with your vehicle, either your Model Y or your Kia EV9. So every time you get at night, you get home at night, you just plug your vehicle, and by the time you wake up the next day, your vehicle's fully charged. It's just that simple. Level 3 charger. Now, this is the one most people hear about. DC fast charging. This is the one you'll see on the highway. This is what you use when you're on a road trip. And this is where EV feels fast and modern. You can go from a low battery to about 80% in around 20 to 40 minutes. That's a huge difference, man. But here's the key though. You don't use this every day. At least you shouldn't. This is where most people get it wrong. They think they should wait around for 30 minutes every time they need to charge their vehicle. But no, that's not the way it works. Most EV owners charge it at homes. About 80 to 90% of people charge their vehicle at home. Fast charging is mostly here for road trips or emergency. Let's say you go into a road trip and you pull up to a supercharger and you plug your vehicle. So the vehicle might tell you after 25 minutes, you can continue to your road trip. So what do? You just go inside, use the bathroom, grab something to eat, stretch your legs, things like that. And by the time you come back, the vehicle is ready to go. That is how it actually works. You're not sitting there waiting for the vehicle. You just keep doing your thing. Here's something nobody tells you. EV charging feels confusing at first, but it gets easier over time. Gas cars, however, feel normal, but it requires constant effort. Think about it for a second. With a gas car, you have to go out of your way each week to fill up your car. But with an EV, you can plug it at home and you're done. When you wake up the next day, your vehicle's ready to go. Now, let's be real for a second. This only works if you can charge at home. So if you live in an apartment and don't have access to charge it, then things change. Now you rely on public chargers, and that can be hit or miss. Sometimes the whole thing can go smooth. Some other times it can be frustrating. And we're going to talk about that in a later episode because that's a huge deal. So let's recap for a second. Level 1 charger. It's slow, basic. You might use it as a backup. Level 2 charger. This is what you are going to use most of the day. And level 3 charger. This is for road trip. And the most important shift, you charge it when the vehicle is parked, not when it's empty. If you can charge at home, EV charging becomes one of the easiest parts of owning an electric car, easier than gas station. And after a while, you don't even think about it. But here's the question most people still have though. How long does EV charging actually takes in real life? Because the numbers online don't really tell you the full story. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about in my next episode. So make sure to subscribe and you can listen to this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. I will see you on the next one.